How's it going? We writing some stuff. Uh, Good music, please. Thank you. Okay. Whoa, you're peeking. Why are we peeking so bad? Okay. He's bad time. There you go. How you doing? We's writing. We ain't been writing in a minute. But the idea is we're gonna do some editing on the book. We're gonna help some folks with their homebrew when they show up. And we're gonna kind of have a chill evening, you know? I feel like taking I feel like taking a little break from gaming. I've been doing a lot of games. I play games in my off time. I play games on stream. I'm tired of games. Gonna we're gonna do some writing. So, let's see here. A couple ideas of things that I wanted to work on. One of them is I want to sneak. Where is it? There we go. I want to sneak my player's current campaign into the College of Staves. Because I think it would be fun for them to stumble upon it at some point. I'm going to say this group several former members of the Cult of Mayol several former members of the Cult of Mayol have decided to open a small clinic in the College of Staves. Here they treat with practical medicine. Oh, here they use. AXIS. Yes, alright. Limited practical magic. Alright, well, here they use what limited practical medicine exists in Bastion. And to the numerous star. Injuries. Turing has won, are you, goofball? Here they use what limited practical medicine exists in Bastion to tend to the numerous bizarre injuries the students managed to obtain during the course of their studies. The Menders Guild. Kind of sneak that in there, see if the players find it. What else can we add? Kind of sneaky about it. Any systems I want to add? I'm looking at my table of contents and trying to think, is there any homebrew that I'm currently using that I think would actually be good in Bastion? Like the book Bastion. I'm not sure about that. We can't edit the Cult of Mayol, though. Can we edit the Cult of Mayol? I think actually we'll leave the cult as is. I don't think we need to do anything to the cult. Watch, I think is fine. Haven't really played much with the Dragon Watch, don't need to update them. The Church of Zazakiel hasn't really been a thing in my game yet, though it is about to be. So this might be seeing an update as I flesh them out more for the... Soda be dripping. Dranarchy Industries, I'm still really just pleased as punch for this frickin' patch that I made. This is good. I like it. I'm very happy with it. Alright, so... I don't think we need to do too much as far as factions go. Weapons are fairly up to date. I like how I integrated the mastery system. I think the mastery system fit quite nicely into my weapons table. Honestly, I have a version of my weapons that I put up on DM's Guild independently. I think I should probably go back, add this column to the table, because I wrote this before there was weapon mastery. I think maybe I'll do that. Oh. That's a sword. Random gear. I think I really need to add anything to that. Oh man. I got this big empty space in illicit substances. I think I want some kind of art, to be honest. We'll probably find some art that we can stick here and call it good. Honestly, I might actually just move this art up to this space over here, and then that'll open up some room for 1 or 2 more illicit substances. So I may just leave that space open for now. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll save that for afterward. Got some magic items. I don't think I need to do anything for the magic. I think they're fine. Unless, are they ordered differently in the new DM's guide? Should I tweak how these are set up? Are weapons separate from wondrous items now? I really don't want to have to reorder this again. I did a lot of the art for this book like a while ago, and I'm actually kind of satisfied with how some of it holds up. This hammer doesn't suck. It's not great, but it doesn't suck. I know the vehicle module does not need to be touched. I have extensive amount of time working on this. Like a bunch of time, and I've play tested it a whole bunch too in my own games. I think vehicles are solid. I don't like that. Not a fan. How did that happen? Something wonky happened here. We gotta fix that. That should be a page break. Oh. That. Why was it not doing a page break there? Control Shift Enter not a page break anymore? Oh, it's just Control Enter. Control Shift Enter is something completely different. There we go. That's what I want. I need this to be its own page. It'll break the formatting otherwise. All right. Oh, I forgot I had this badass picture here. Oh my god, that's good. Go me. Holy crap. Oh. So I have really crap like long-term memory sometimes, and I just forget stuff that I've done, especially for the book. I'm impressed that I drew this. I don't draw that often, so like every once in a while I just stumble upon something that I drew and I'm like, you know what? God damn, dude. Good job. No, I really like it. Holy crap. I'm don't remember drawing this. I really don't. Like I remember this is something that I drew, but I don't remember the process of me. Like he's got like one of his little arms holding the handlebar on this side so he can use the spear with his other hand. Oh, so good. Alright. Enough of that. Ba-ba. Diagrams of what the vehicles kind of look like. So the book needs art mostly, is the issue. Like I just don't have art for the book. I've got a bunch of character portraits. I probably could be like sneaking character portraits into the book and just places where it kind of feels alright just to have a random person's face. We could try doing some of that. Maybe that'd be something we can do. Try and sneak in existing art that I've already done. Parts of the book. I know I've drawn a college mate. Why is that picture not in the book? Take up some art. We got this college mage knight right here. I don't know where I have it in the book. I'm sure it's in the book somewhere. But oh, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. Oh no. I don't have a space. If this works. Oh, that didn't work. That kind of worked. That page break back in. I don't know why that broke my page break, but whatever. Alright, cool. Column break. We're doing good. Insert image. I'm gonna bring this down about even with that. Oh, whatever that did, I don't like it. What you doing? Freaking word processor, derpy. Oh, oh, I'm the derpy one. Okay, hold on. I was pushing the wrong buttons. a picture back, please. Thank you. Alright, I just want you. Anchor to paragraph. Down. There we go, that's better. What are you doing, bud? What are you doing? What is going on? Okay, hold on. Something derpy's happening with properties. Anchor to page. I don't know why 2page isn't like part of the right click options. Whatever. Through in background. Okay. Thank you. That's how I want it. That's how I want every picture in this goddamn book to look. I want this as big as I can get it without it like overrunning the margins. There we go. We got a college mage tonight. Right there. Awesome. And we still got a fucking busted ass. God damn. Alright. We're not touching it. Click the save button. God damn. Waiting for it to save. This wrist, though. Jeez. There we go, that looks good, yeah. Alright, we're just gonna keep trying to sneak some art in. Don't have anybody we can use for the black and watch yet, although I probably should. I haven't even actually, like, designed... Why are you not fitting? Weird, you didn't fit in your own freaking stat block. That was strange. Well, that's a good fix, I guess. But we don't have any art we can use for the Jack and Watch yet. Haven't drawn very many dwarves yet, so no wardens we can sneak in. So I probably should draw a warden. I think I was like halfway through a warden picture a while back, and I just never finished it. I don't think I ever will. I like that picture. I really should draw like a mage warped squirrel. It's a little flaming rodent. That would be fun to do. I'm not great at drawing monsters. I don't know how much I want to draw like an actual monster. Probably should draw a sewer mutant, though, huh? What? I have art for that. Maybe not like a stitched, but I can definitely put like a cultist of Mayol here. I have drawn several cultists of Mayol. Hell? Oh, it starts starting me on the next. I was confused. I want that column break because I want to be able to have stuff over here um, without moving this around. But I think we can kind of sneak some art in here. Go and grab. There is a fella named Michot that I drew. I didn't fade the edges of the picture. You know what? I do not care. I have started to hit the point of this exercise where I am starting to be happy being a little sloppy with it. Why did that break everything? Oh, because I didn't wrap it through. Through in background. Why would you do that? Or I changed that. Crazy. Alright, so I'm going to try and have it just like line up the text a little bit. It would. I just want it like as wide as the text box. No. Yeah, that works for me. A fun little piece of art to look at there. It could do that picture better. I do not care. Why is this how like? Why is this like that? Why is this on 2 separate pages? Shouldn't be like that. Back up there. What the hell? Oops. This is why we do these editing passes. Sometimes the book just goes with the formatting. That's no bueno. This picture's alright. I think it still holds up. I was drawing completely differently at the time, and I still think this is alright. Access the black. Still builds up. What? I think I might want to enable just a little bit. Let's give it like a just edge of padding. That's better. That's a lot better. Does that break anything? Just a little bit. Yeah, this really is like a full page kind of deal, isn't it? What if we got sneaky with it and kind of stole a little bit of space between these lines? No, this adds up. The one is I'm just reducing the font size between these line breaks. 1 point. Hey, it worked. Hell yeah. The Crimson Flame. Still, it's kind of a weird picture. I would probably do this differently now. Doesn't look bad. I just would do it differently. I think Del kind of holds up. He's alright. Picture's okay. I'm mostly just like also like half critiquing the art I already have in the book because it has been a while since I've touched this. So I'm kind of looking at it a fresh set of eyes. I mean, there's a couple places where I kind of screwed up, like his nose plates don't go right down the middle; they're all crooked. Face just isn't constructed well, but I think it's close enough to good that nobody would really notice unless like I'm pointing it out to him that I fucked up on his face. It's hard to tell that he's sleeping. I feel like I should maybe have made his eyelids a bit darker. Kind of really sell that they're closed and shaded over and stuff. I don't know. Some of these I feel like should be like full body poses. Why doesn't this have padding? Some of these stat blocks, I'm noticing, like don't have any padding to them. It's like makes them look bad. I gotta like go back up and like redo the padding on a bunch of these. I like how Divaga's stat block is somehow smaller than Anaxa's. It doesn't break any of the pages, from what I can tell. Why is the like the some of these stat blocks are small enough that like even decided to like up the text size on some readability's sake. I got ones like, oh no, Seidel has plenty of room. Alright, yeah. Have I not drawn Kezeler? Oh, his stat block just disappeared on me for a second there. What the hell? Go. Do a quick save. Oh. On you. I'm on you. Thank you. It's a very big document. Zebra is struggling. I like this picture a lot. I didn't match up the brick patterns here, and it's gonna bug me till the end of forever. Now that I've noticed it, this is just kind of like a pattern that is here. Not a bad picture. Mayol, I think, is holding up. I think that's. I like, yeah, I like it. He's got the face mask, but he doesn't have a nose to cover. Also, he's undead, so why would he be wearing a face mask? He doesn't breathe. Mercy Stitcher might actually make an appearance this. We might utilize Mercy Stitch here at some point. Hmm. I kind of want to have some Art of Night Pelt, but like Night Pelt's hard to do justice in black and white. I don't know. I'd have to look at some since I try to go for like a comic book esque style. I'd have to like grab a couple references from like Black Panther because I feel like my version of Night Pelt is a lot like Fast, Black Panther comic. I like this one too. This is one of the first ones I did in my newer style. Um, I should come back to it at some point. I really think that's my art to-do list. Which honestly I probably should get on top of it. So what can we do? I suppose we can just like keep trying to find places to sneak in art. No, like we can just like look at some of the art that I mean I know what I have and haven't drawn for the most part. Um, need anything for the Dragonborn? A spot where I can put a Dragonborn picture. Fuck it, let's do that. I have a Dragonborn I drew. We can stick him in. Properties. Drew in background. Anchor to the page. Go. That unbreaks it, which I very much like. There we go. We can just like sneak a Dragonborn in there. That's great. Haven't drawn any GIF yet. Gnolls. We haven't drawn any Gnolls yet. Fortunately. We'll have occasion to at some point. I've only drawn the one gnome. I'm not going to reuse Zink's picture for this. Goblins. Well, I've drawn a goblin, but not one I'm going to read. Half elves, halflings, humans. Drawn a kobold. Yeah, screw it. Let's stick a kobold in here. Page. Drew in background. I kind of want to try animating sports campaign. I've been watching a lot of those Legends of Avernus, and makes me wanna try it out, you know. Can't be that bad. I have a couple of orcs I could use. Wouldn't be in the cultist. Oh, Curexa. Not Odinar. Not Snarn. Have I not drawn? No, I've definitely drawn. That guy. And color. Oh, I've done a lot of these. You know what? He's probably in a different fold. Probably in the Bastion City Wall character. Oh, yeah, Borgaz, baby. Borgaz, strongest there is. Hell yeah, Borgaz, baby. So let's see here. The story of Bastion's orcs is a tragic one. Having claimed a significant amount of territory in the years before the walls rose, it seemed like they were in a position to take control of the entire landmass. After Daivaga's intervention, the aggression of the orcish war chiefs turned inward. Followed was generations of infighting, while the rest of Bastion made progress forward. Outside of Slamet territory, orcs and half-orcs are seen as barbaric savages, often assumed they have no understanding of modern life. Correct, for the most part, it isn't because of ability on the orcs' behalf, but rather they view modern comforts as poisons that weaken the body and corrupt the soul. Orc tribes purposefully shun and actively destroy any artifice that enters their life. So, something that we've kind of made a joke of, but I actually want to incorporate now that I've seen it and I've thought about it. Languages. Do I have room on this page to sneak in anything about language? I kinda don't. No, I don't have any room at the bottom either. See, I'm kind of like hamstrung by my own formatting at this point when it comes to making edits. A lot of these pages are kind of locked in, so if I want to add in a joke about, well, not like a joke, but like a nod towards the fact that my campaign, my players have decided that Orcish is a largely non-verbal language. It's like a series of grunts and shrugs. I can't really sneak in because I don't have the room for it. I'd have to delete something to fit it in. Like otherwise I'd have to be able to move like this whole paragraph from my calendar section to the next page, and then that would push everything else down, and then religion. Well, actually, if I decided to commit and make religion its own segment, how bad does that bork the book? Can I reformat this without it being like bad? I say we try, huh? And I can sneak some more stuff onto this page, or maybe like another opportunity art. Ooh, I could probably draw some coins. That's a good opportunity, yeah? Draw the coinage of Bastion. What's up, Mind's Eye? Thanks for the lurk! Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll try and reformat this page, get a little extra room so we can talk about how Orcish is a non-verbal language. And then... yeah, we'll do that. We're going to give this its own page here, and then we're just going to start tweaking the formatting until it's how I like it. Or nothing. Alright. Light of Mail. Light of Meryl, rather. I'm gonna take you over to the next page, or next column. That's good. That. That picture can just kind of sit tight for now. I think what we do here, we just give this a page break, like so. That. Point. There we go. We got this little blurb about beacons. Then we got death and resurrection over here. That's actually kind of good. I like having death and resurrection be on its own page, because then we can put some pretty decent art, like down here in the bottom or something. What are we going to do with this picture? Well, the properties on this are all kinds of work. True, in background, please. Thank you. Okay. So what are we going to do about this picture? I don't want to cram it in here, because, like, it's kind of big, and it would look weird. I could go through and cut it up, because each of these is, like, its own picture. So I could just, like, redo this. I can just do like the light and shadows of Karth, the light and Maril, shadows of Karth, and like the independent down here. Is that what we want to do? think that's what we want to do. I kind of also want to take the chance to like redo specifically the Crimson Flames medallion. I don't like it. I don't think it works. I might even try to like reimagine it. To be honest, I think the idea of just like a flaming gate is a bad idea for a medallion. Probably come up with something different. Do with the. I think for now, just so that I have something reference for the holy symbols, we are going to just kind of cram it down. Heck, I might even like not hate it this size. Might as well look at it. You know what? Not terrible. I might reorder these slightly so that they are a bit more horizontally oriented. Maybe make it like 3 columns of 3 instead of like these 6 up here and then these 3 down here. Honestly, I might just yeah, you know what? I think making it more square, like just setting up an alignment chart of the holy symbols is probably the best. We'll go with something like that. I think that reformatting went pretty well, actually. We can put some coinage here. I'll like that. That will be fun. Oh, you know what? Oh, the whole point of this was sneak the calendar over here. I think we still have room. Yeah, we still have room for some currency picture right here. So that's not the end of the world. I gotta keep an eye out for gaps in my. A lot of this moving around the text and stuff creates. I have a lot of headers, so that my table of contents is pretty easy to navigate. But a lot of this reformatting and stuff makes duplicate headers and stuff. So I gotta make sure I'm going through and I'm resetting their formatting as I go. Otherwise, we'll just end up with like a bunch of blank entries in my table of contents. Okie dokie. Religion has now been separated. Good. Orcish people of the tribe lands about the dialect of Orcish. Dialect of Orcish spoken in the tribe lands is largely non-verbal, consisting mainly of grunts and shrugs. How about grunts, shrugs, and nods? All right, and I don't know if I'll put anything here or not. I might put the coinage picture here and just like leave this little area blank. I'm not sure. That is actually full editing. Let's save that. I'm satisfied with that outcome. I've spent too much time holding a controller lately, and my thumb has been suffering for it. All stiff. Hurt. Alright. Sim here, Golfy, Cursor, Allenvorm, Tormquorm. Days of the week. For the 3-day weekend. Death and Resurrection. Yeah, we got plenty of room for art here. Honestly, I could probably whip up like a really nice, impressive picture of like the flaming gate that spirits pass through. I think that would work pretty deep. I'm also doing like a brief like comb through to make sure that none of our editing got borked by that reformatting up top. Also kind of still keeping an eye out for things that we can kind of sneak some art into that I've already drawn. Wall to districts. Dragon Wall. Good stuff. Do I add the Day of Burning Cinders to the recent events? While it was a major event, it didn't really change much of the status quo of the city. It was kind of just something that happened, but then everything kind of went back after. I want to change this to Lost Souls. Well-intentioned heroes investigating the mystery of the Red Flames found themselves face to face with them. A hard battle was fought, but the heroes fell to this cultist. Make this a what? What emerged from the ritual was not a vengeful god, but instead a gentle shepherd. That I can weave, seeming to sense the shift in the foundation, erected new walls, sealing off the grounds around it, hitting the So I kind of want to. Am I happy with the number of bullet points I have here? I think I kind of want to have a blurb about snow ambulance. I want to have something about how. I want to have some kind of blurb about how they. What's up, your mom? Long time no see. How you doing? Um, Help isn't coming. What the fuck happened there? It's been 50 years. Oh god, things have gone very weird. What the hell? Oh, okay, no. Things aren't that weird. Oh no, how many of these pictures did I link to the page that I now have to move? Because the page changed, but the pictures didn't move with the page. I added like 2 pages. Oh, I'm removing so many goddamn pictures! This is why we bind things to paragraph. Uh, Help isn't coming. Um, we're going to see the mercenaries that keep the peace. What's this D&D campaign about? It's the same one I've always been running. Bastion City of Walls. I'm just editing the book because I feel like it's been enough time that it would be worth it to once again put hands on the book and add things that we have done in like the last year or so in the campaign. Also, my idea of what the setting is supposed to be might have shifted a little bit in that time. Um, I've also like just been drawing in my spare time, so we're taking the opportunity to just add a bunch of pictures, like this picture of a dragonborn. Um, to just yeah, it's kind of a DLC. It's a patch. We're patching the book. Are slow to respond. Uh, no, I don't want to say that. The mercenaries. Here we go. No. So the mercenaries that police the city, whoops. Uh, so they're not concerned with, like, who's in the right. Uh, so the mercenaries that police the city are only concerned with ending conflict when it arises, not determining who is in the right. So if you are in battle in the city long enough or loud enough that the cops show up, they're going to be trying to take down both sides, not necessarily like help you fight the bad guys. So if anything, it just kind of becomes a three-way fight rather than, oh, the cops are here, we're saved. I don't want to say more often. Things escalate in a three-way fight far more often than how do I want to say this? Things escalate into a three-way fight far more often than solve peacefully. Can a book in D&D have a DLC regardless of how it ends up? Yeah. They do it all the time. 4th edition had it. 3.5 had a bunch of DLC. Often they're just called Player's Handbook 2. You know? Like 3.5 had like, God, so many books. I don't know why they moved away from that model, because like D&D was making money. Yep. 3.5 had I think it had like Player's Handbook 2. It had DM's Guide 2. It had monster manuals up to I think 6. Like 3.5 had a lot of content to it. 4th edition was kind of similar. 4th edition had Player's Handbook 2. I don't think it had a DM's Guide 2. Yeah, no, it would be great. Instead, they just like release the core books, and then like once a year they release an adventure book, and like I don't understand why they aren't releasing content, but then complaining that nobody is buying products. Like, you gotta make stuff for people to buy, you know? And they're trying to like have this D&D Beyond microtransaction store, but like just make more books, my dude. the problem the problem I think is they look at their player base and they go, we have a rather large player base. And what we want to do is we want to sell something to every single person playing the game. And in reality, what ends up happening is they publish a book and the dungeon master buys the book and nobody else, which means only about 1/5 of their player base is actually spending money on the game to win. And I think they just need to accept that as the reality of their product line. Like, that is just the market you are in. But for whatever reason, they've got this mindset that everybody who plays D&D has to pay for D&D. So they just are trying to push this microtransaction model. And the right way to do it. It's really not. Just make books. I will buy the books. Which reminds me, I still need to get the new Monster Manual. But, like, I will buy the books. You just gotta fucking make them. They also need to realize that, like, while campaign settings sell, I think far more tables are running homebrew campaigns than pre-written stuff. Yeah, so you're the only one that buys books. Which is probably about 1/5 of the people you play with. Maybe a little more than me, a little less. I don't know how big your parties are. But I think far more people play homebrew campaigns than like pre-written stuff. So I think the kind of products that they really should shift to are one, player options. If they release a bunch of like small-ish, like if they really want, they can just release a bunch of small-ish, pretty slim books. They don't even need to be hardcover. This could have been a pamphlet. 13 of us on a good day. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, 13's a lot. Ooh, hopefully it's more than one campaign. Or you got like some kind of West Marches thing going on, but I would not run 13 people at the table. All they'd have to do is just make a bunch of these books. Again, not very big. Could have been a pamphlet of player options. The DM, if one-shot campaigns, fun. The DM is not going to buy 30 of these. You know who is going to buy these? The players. If you want to sell things to players and not DMs, you make a bunch of player options in these small pamphlet-sized things. Character races, subclasses, all kinds of stuff like that. You pretty much just make a magazine. You just bring back Dragon Magazine, you know? Make it a physical form. Make it like a monthly thing that goes out. And just do like Dragon Magazine Volume 1 or whatever, and just have like this much content monthly. It's doable. You have like a whole fucking studio. This is doable. Game stores will buy them. Players will buy them. I guarantee you, if you just release a bunch of those books for about $15 a month. Hi Doc, how you doing? We dropping Gibby? Yeah, you just release a bunch of those books. You're good to go. He didn't see the pitfall trap. No, he failed his deck save. But like that's what I think Wizards should be doing instead of like this microtransaction bullshit. Bring back Dragon Magazine, make it fucking a physical product. You can have a digital release too if you want, but make it like a physical product, and I think they could make some decent fucking cash instead of just like doing like this yearly release bullshit that they're doing. Working on some video game inspired homebrew. Ooh, cool. Yeah, like a $15 book. If there was like a $15 book that came out like monthly, and it just had like a subclass for each class, and maybe like a couple of player races, maybe some magic items, you know, just a bunch of character options. Players will buy that book and they will bring it to their DM and they will say, "Hey, I want to play this." I liked Expedition 33. I got about halfway through it before I put it down. I'm gonna pick it back up at some point. I didn't enjoy streaming it. And while I enjoy myself a good turn-based RPG, I don't feel like there was quite enough enemy variety to hold my attention. Once you're in a zone and you fought like the 3 kinds of enemies that are in it, you've pretty much done everything in that zone, but you're stuck there for like another 25-40 minutes as you just kind of wander down the hallway fighting whatever random combination of stuff. You're turning Chroma into something? Chroma's just how their experience point system works, dude. Kinda, sorta. I don't know. So, Expedition 33 is kind of an everything ripoff, which isn't a bad thing. And Chroma, if you like look at it in a more abstract version, is just Souls from Dark Souls. It even comes from the same place. Like something dies, it turns into Chroma. You can then spend the Chroma to get stuff. It's just Souls from Dark Souls. Pretty much everything in that game is an homage to something else. It's a great fucking game, but like you can grab literally any piece of that game and be like, oh, this is from that game. Instead of things, we're going to say conflict. Battles escalate into a three-way fight far more often than resolve pieces. I also want to say, while local medical clinics exist, not spoilers, you can't really explain what you're doing. I take a break, as tipsy homebrew doesn't seem smart. I don't mind spoilers. I've already spoiled myself as far as Expedition 33 goes. I've watched I've already watched I watched a bunch of YouTube videos before I bought the game. Yeah. Eat your cat. Okay, dokie. Yeah. No, I know the whole world is like a painting, and it's a painting holding the dying soul of the rapier girl's brother, and that the main conflict is that her parents fighting over whether or not they keep the painting. Oh, it's a painter class. Okay, yeah. I've kind of done that. I have an artificer called the Chromamancer, and it's all about using paint to do kind of like illusionist nonsense. And one of their ultimate things is they actually get to paint something into existence. Well, small medical clinics exist. There are a few traits like that in yours. Favorite though is being able to paint weapons into existence that only you can use. That's one way to do it. You can give them kind of like the Warlock's packed weapon feature kind of deal. If you're going with the Artificer, because I don't think 1 to 20 classes are a thing that people should be homebrewing. Just straight up, I don't think that's a necessary thing. I think anything that anybody wants to make will already exist within the framework of the class system we currently have, unless it's something that you really feel is missing from the game. But we already have pretty much. I really miss 4th edition because 4th edition had power and then roll, and then like your class was a combination of those two. It's honestly just to see if you could make a 1 to 20 that won't be used. So the problem with the 1 to 20s is that you need to work without stepping on the toes of an existing class, because I've seen a lot of people try to make a 1 to 20 class, like, oh, I made a gunslinger class. I'm like, no, you made a crappy fighter that's only allowed to use one kind of weapon. So like, I mean, like the Ranger. Look at the Ranger. It's hard to make a 1 to 20 class, just in the existing framework of the game. So like, I wouldn't try to make a 1 to 20 class. It is a lot of work for no payoff. Just straight up, there's no payoff in a 1 to 20 class. Because not only do you have to make a 1 to 20 class, you also need to make like 4 subclasses for that 1 to 20 class that are unique enough that they're worth taking, that there's like a real choice between them, but also don't just turn your class into another class that already exists. And a lot of people just end up like reinventing the fighter or the warlock or the artificer. Well, small medical clinics exist sparsely. There is no ambulance service. What's a 1 to 20 class? Like the fighter. It's a class that you play from level 1 to level 20. The fighter, the wizard, the rogue, the cleric. Figured it could be fun as you have no current games running, you can just fuck about and mess with it. I mean, yeah, it's as just like a game building practice. Fine, cool, go for it. If you just want to like dip your toes in and like flex your game design chops and see like just to like explore a design space, I strongly encourage it. Go for it. Make a 1 to 20 class. I do not, and probably will not ever recommend making a 1 to 20 class and then trying to convince like someone in your party to play it. I really don't. It is one, you're going to give yourself a major freaking headache trying to balance, because then it's going to have to be like truly balanced against other classes, because you got someone's enjoyment of the game on the line. And not only do you have one person's you have your entire table's enjoyment on the line, because if the class you've made is accidentally like overpowered, it's going to overshadow the rest of the players, and they're not going to be having a good time. And if it's underpowered, the person playing the class isn't going to have a good time, and other people aren't going to like having to pick up the slack for that underpowered character. The basic framework of the game is such that you can just have dude who swings sword good and like he will function. It's hard to be underpowered in the game because like as long as you can pick up weapon and whack dude twice in one round with weapon, you will be sufficient. The fighter is pretty much just that, with a couple of durability features tacked on top. The issue comes in people making a 1 to 20 class are often chasing like a very specific power fantasy that they have in mind. Like they have a specific video game or a movie or a book that they've read or like a comic book character, and they're like, oh, I really want to be able to see this in my D&D game. And they'll write down everything that character can do and be like, okay, you get this level and you can fly at level 6 and you can shoot lasers out of your eyes at level 12, and at level 15 you become invulnerable, and at level 19 you're actually freaking Superman. But like the game isn't balanced for that. And like that was an extreme example, but like a lot of things in fiction aren't intended to be in D&D. Can't do superheroes in D&D. D&D is, at its core, Pass of the State is not balanced at all. Though one trait you enjoy because you like it. Well, of course you enjoy it because you like it. That's just how those words function, my dude. But no, it can be fun to see something that exists in media and be like, oh, I wonder what that would mechanically look like in D&D. But it is a lot easier to explore those mechanical quirks and also have them be relatively balanced by having them be subclasses for existing classes. Because then you only really need to worry about 4 traits and some proficiency, and that's about it. You know, you just pick like the 4 things that character can do, sprinkle them around their subclass levels, and then yes, I did. But like you just pick those 4 traits, sprinkle them across the subclass levels, give them a couple of proficiencies that lets them like specialize a little bit in one thing that class should be kind of good at compared to the other members of whatever class you subclassed into. And you're good to go. It's so easy to make a subclass. Most of the work is done for you, and you can make a subclass that feels like what you want it to be, you know? Heck, if I wanted to make a Batman subclass, I would just take the monk and give them a couple of subclass features that lets them do Batman shit. You know? Maybe I just take the monk and I go, okay, this is a monk that is going to be very good at utilizing like tools or magic items or something like that. And like maybe I even go so far as to like give them some version of the Artificer's Infusion system, where like they can spend a couple of key points and produce an item from like a utility belt of sorts that does whatever effect that they want to from a list. And I can just make a Batman monk. That actually sounds pretty cool. I don't want to make it now. But like the idea of an intelligence monk sounds pretty cool. Like one of their features could just be like, oh, you calculate with your intelligence instead of your wisdom when you're doing your unarmored defense. That'd be pretty neat. And then just give them a bunch of intelligence abilities. Heck, you could even like really streamline that feature by just saying, call it like reasoned forethought or some shit like that, and just have it be like, you may use your intelligence in place of your wisdom modifier for your monk features and abilities. Boom. Done. That hits your armor and armored defense, it hits your key save resist. Or your key save DC, but the other things I might not have realized. Um, while small medical clinics exist sparsely, there is no ambulance service. Those that are injured, those that are injured must rely on. What must they rely on? I guess their own sources of healing. Yeah, but you gotta be willing to carry around some like healing potions or have a beacon with you or something. So I kind of want to kind of have this on the same line. Is that right? Feels like that's not right. Trying to use like a piece of paper to see if these are level with each other. But I've got a curved monitor and that makes it difficult. I think that's right. Yeah, it looks good from a distance. I'm happy. Yeah, this is just like a list of bullet points that kind of outline the nature of the setting. Oh. Suppose we want to fix these pictures, huh? Oh, I gotta like Control X, Control V this crap. That's fine. It's whatever. Gonna do a quick little scroll through. Yeah, that's not a halfling, that's a kobold. That's not a human, that's an orc. Do you have any backgrounds we could add? I'm trying to think. We could do like a former cultist. Yeah, I don't have like a former cultist one. Let's sneak a former cultist in here. That'd be interesting to have, huh? Um, so we'll do. We'll say. Recently, you have escaped the cult of Mayol. Um, while you may still bear the scars, both physical and mental, from your time, uh, I want to say from your time. How about may still bear the scars, both physical and mental. We don't need from. While you may still bear the scars, both physical and mental, you can be yeah, we'll do something kind of like that. You have the origin feat. Have the recommended ability for increase. We have recommended talents. We have recommended proficiencies. So for origin feat, I need to grab my player's handbook and I need to double check my feats. To see if any of those fit. Be right back. Okay. Origin feats. The heck are the feats? These aren't tools. Adventuring gear. And here we go, feats. Feats. Alert, crafter, healer. Well, yeah, we definitely want healer. I did not know healer was an origin feat. We're definitely taking that. And one other one. Could do skilled. Could do magic initiate. I think magic initiate would be interesting. How can I spell initiate, but I can't spell during? Recommended ability score increases. +2 strength. We're gonna do +2 int. And +1 wisdom. Recommended talents. What would be 2 decent cantrips to pick from? Because everyone on Bastion gets what's called a talent, because it's a very magical setting. Everyone on Bastion gets 1 cantrip for free. And they're called talents. Let's go with... Okay, let's go with Toll the Dead. And what's the other one we want? Chill Touch, maybe? Maybe Chill Touch? Gentle Repose isn't a cantrip, is it? Spare the Dying a cantrip? Let me double check, see if Spare the Dying cantrip. Oh, they don't have the spell lists in the frickin'... God damn it. Gotta go actually look up Spare the Dying now. I gotta know the alphabet now. Spare the Dying, cantrip, cool. We're gonna do Spare the Dying. Those should be italicized. Proficiencies. I like to do 2 skills, a tool, and a language. So let's do medicine. Obviously. Let's do her. What would be another good skill for a cultist to have? Medicine. Not history. Not insight. Arcana? Yeah, let's do Arcana. I don't think a healer's kit is a tool. Is it? Like, can you be proficient in a healer's kit? It looks like the healer's kit makes so you don't have to use the medicine check, which is weird. I always feel like a healer's kit should be something you have to be in. Seems really weird that just anybody can pick up a first aid kit and just like prevent someone from dying. So I guess we're just trying to look up proficiency. 20. Tools. Okay. Painters, potters, smiths, tinkers, weavers, woodcutters, guys, forgery, gaming, herbalism. Probably do an herbalism kit. We'll do that. We'll do like an herbalism kit. URBLISM. And for a language, maybe Abyssal? Or Undercommon? I think maybe Abyssal. There shouldn't be a period there. Just like there shouldn't be a period here. Or here. In fact, that should be a language. Copy you. Paste that in there. Like so. Come over here. We're gonna delete that. That. You over to there. I think we actually get to delete this one. What the hell? Oh, I gotta delete the frickin'. There we go. It was an empty cell. I ended up only deleting the picture that was in the cell, not the cell itself. Or, not a comma there. Boom, we have a former cultist. Recently, you have escaped the cult of Mayol. While you may still bear the scars, both physical and mental, you retain the education you gained, learning from the cult's many medical experiments. Get healer or magic initiate, you get +2 int, +1 wisdom, toll the dead, spare the dying, medicine, arcana, herbalism, and the abyssal language. That's if you take it like boilerplate as the background. All of these are options. You can swap any of them for another one. Just ideas. Healer's kit is not a proficiency. It's a mistake I have made many times. And instead of medicine, I'm going to instead learn. Try and keep these well organized. We're instead going to learn Celestial. Language of Angels. Honestly, the former cultist and the Beacon of Zazakiel are pretty close together in form, in terms of like what their background looks like. But like, if you think about it, they are just two sides to the same coin, really. 'Cause, like, one of them is you're being indoctrinated into a religious order as a potential like scion, like an exemplar of their ideals, and the other is you're a beacon of Zazakiel. Oh man, I think that's good. I'm happy with that. We added a background there. Fix that. Get rid of that. That does not need to be like that. That. Go. Real quick, we want to do a very fast scrub looking for pictures that have forked. Need to fix. Should we do so? Because we have moved a bunch of pages around. Does mean scrolling through 200 pages rather quickly. Oh, see, here's a busted one. Want the picture? I want the picture, please. The picture, please. Thank you. You go there. You stay there. Oh, no. That's not where you go. Where it belongs. Some of these, I really should go through and like just make sure that these, like the ones that I find, I should just kind of fix to not break again, because they should be set to paragraph instead of page. But like, honestly, I can't be bothered. This isn't enough of an inconvenience to keep me from like not just doing this every time, you know? Because I don't actually intend on doing this particularly often. I'm also kind of trying to keep an eye out for like just random page snafus. Sometimes when you shift things around in a document like this, just the pages get all kinds of muddled. What am I doing scrolling? I can just do this. Oh. That was weird. I just saw like the paladin all of a sudden. Oh, that's what it was. The cursor is moving with me when I do the page down thing. I don't like doing that. Oh, we're just gonna go back to scrolling. I just got a new mouse. I gotta break in the scroll wheel anyways, you know? A lot of open space here. Dragon Botch. They need some art. I kind of want to redo this symbol for Raffi. I'm not feeling it. That's gonna have to get redone. I'm actually kind of happy with the Shadow Wilds map that I made. Weapon descriptions made it out okay. Good for that. You're about halfway through the book already. Derpy? No, I didn't. Okay. That's about the speed I want that at. Alright, let's see what we got. Don't think anything's broken. Yeah, no, great. I know we just kind of like super sped through the second half of the book, but I wasn't finding anything broken for a while. The things that typically break, we already caught. Alright. Well, it's a quiet night. I don't have a heck of a lot else to do on the book, really, until I get more art done. Which I was going to do tomorrow. But I don't want to go play Magic tomorrow night. I forgot tomorrow was Friday. I've been kind of like bouncing back. Oh, nope. See, here's something that busted. I don't know how we missed that. Me, the picture, please. Here we go. Not you. Don't go there. Here. Go. But I kind of feel like going to go play Magic the Gathering. Ooh, that means we gotta go find that College Mage Knight too. That probably also borked. Set that up the same way as well. There we go. All right, that's done. But yeah, we're gonna call it there. Yeah, tomorrow I was gonna do some drawing. I decided I kind of want to play some Magic tomorrow. I don't feel like getting up early, so we're just gonna try and have next week's schedule not suck. I'm trying to do morning streams. It is hard, especially with the kid, but I like morning streams a lot better. More folks get a chance to show up, and just I feel better the rest of the day after doing morning streams. But yeah, we're gonna call it there. I'll catch you folks later.